They have witnessed the rise and fall of dinosaurs, the shifting of continents, and the birth of humanity. These are the silent sentinels, ancient forests that hold the blueprints for our planet's future. The Amazon basin spans 9 South American nations, dominated by the world's largest river system. Formed over millennia through sedimentary deposition and tectonic stability, this lowland rainforest experiences a hot, humid equatorial climate with annual rainfall exceeding 2,000 millimeters. It harbors an estimated 390 billion individual trees and 2.5 million insect species. Some tree species are more than 8 million years old, having survived past warm periods. Indigenous peoples have lived in harmony with this forest for thousands of years, their knowledge integral to its preservation. Located in Queensland, the Daintree is part of the Wet Tropics World Heritage Area. It formed on ancient, nutrient-poor soils along Australia's northeastern coast, shielded from climatic extremes by the Great Dividing Range. The climate is tropical with heavy monsoon rainfall. This forest is a rare survivor of 120 million years of climate change and continental drift. It contains 30% of Australia's frog, reptile, and marsupial species, and 65% of its bat and butterfly species. The forest is named after geologist Richard Daintree. Spanning 4,343 square kilometers across 3 Malaysian states, this forest is built on ancient sedimentary rocks, some of the continent's oldest formations. It encompasses Peninsular Malaysia's highest peak, Mount Taman, at 2,187 meters. The climate is tropical, supporting lowland evergreen rainforest that transitions to montane forest at higher elevations. This is a critical refuge for endangered megafauna including tigers, elephants, and sun bears. Protected since the 1930s, it remains one of Asia's most important biodiversity strongholds. Straddling the Polish-Belarusian border, this forest complex covers approximately 1,450 square kilometers. It lies on the watershed between the Baltic and Black Seas. The terrain is lowland with swampy areas, dominated by mixed stands of oak, hornbeam, spruce, and pine. The climate is continental with cold winters. It is home to Europe's heaviest land animal, the European bison, with a population exceeding 800 individuals. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979, it offers an unparalleled glimpse into Europe's natural history. Yakushima is a mountainous island formed largely of granite bedrock, with only a thin layer of topsoil. The German Suji grows on the north face of Mount Miyamura at 1,300 meters elevation. The climate is exceptionally wet, with annual rainfall reaching 10,000 millimeters in some areas. The ancient Yakusuga cedars grow extremely slowly due to the poor soil, creating incredibly dense, rot-resistant wood. The 1968 discovery of German Suji sparked a movement to protect the island's forests and launched its ecotourism economy. Southeastern Alaska's Tungas comprises volcanic mountainous archipelagos and rugged, fjord-indented coastline. It is part of the largest temperate rainforest on Earth, stretching from Alaska to California. The climate is maritime with up to 200 inches of rain annually. Towering Sitka spruce and western hemlock dominate old-growth stands, with some trees exceeding 700 years in age and 200 feet in height. This is the traditional homeland of the Tlingit people, and it supports brown bears, wolves, and bald eagles. Formed during the Jurassic period 200 to 145 million years ago, Sinaraja is a lowland tropical rainforest with a series of mountains rising from 90 to 1,170 meters. The terrain is rugged, with a hot, humid equatorial climate. Over 60% of its trees are endemic, and it harbors 95% of Sri Lanka's endemic bird species, including the elusive red-faced malkoha. Protection efforts date back to the 3rd century BC, with formal reserve status granted by the Dutch in 1875. It is the richest source of biodiversity in Sri Lanka. The Araucaria araucana is native to the lower slopes of the south-central Andes in Chile and Argentina, typically growing above 1,000 meters. These trees thrive in volcanic soils with heavy snowfall and extreme temperature variations. Reaching up to 60 meters in height and 3 meters in diameter, they are often called living fossils. The species is the national tree of Chile and holds profound cultural significance for the Mapuche people. Declared national heritage in 1976, these ancient pines are a testament to resilience in harsh mountain environments. Located on New Zealand's Northland Peninsula, Waipua Forest is a remnant of the ancient subtropical rainforest that once covered the region. The forest grows on weathered soils derived from ancient sandstone and shale. The climate is temperate with high humidity. Tain Mahuta stands over 51 meters tall with a trunk girth exceeding 13 meters. Nearby Timachuan Gahia, the father of the forest, is estimated to be between 2,000 and 3,000 years old. These majestic trees are sacred to the Maori people, representing the forest's spiritual and cultural heart. Stretching 250 miles along British Columbia's central and northern coast, this forest encompasses islands, mountains, fjords, and glacier. It sits on the rugged Pacific coastal margin, shaped by glacial activity and tectonic uplift. The maritime climate produces immense rainfall, creating one of the most biomass-dense ecosystems on Earth, containing 40% more biomass per hectare than the Amazon. 1,000-year-old red cedars and towering Sitka spruce dominate. It is a critical corridor where ocean and land are inextricably connected. Situated in western Kenya near the Ugandan border, Kakamega is an eroded mountain massif at 1,500 to 1,600 meters elevation. It is part of the Kavirondo Rift, a branch of the East African Rift System. The climate is tropical with 2 rainy seasons. The forest hosts over 160 tree and shrub species. It is a renowned bird sanctuary with 367 recorded species, including the great blue turaco. This is Kenya's most biodiverse forest, representing a vital link to the continent's deep ecological past. Madagascar's baobabs, Adansonia, grow in dry deciduous forests on the western side of the island. The trees are adapted to the island's seasonal climate with a long dry season. They first evolved in Madagascar, with 2 species later dispersing to Africa and Australia via ocean currents. The avenue of the baobabs features trees with trunks rising to 150 feet. Baobabs act as keystone species in their dry forest environments. Their massive trunks store water, allowing them to survive harsh droughts and support countless other species. Located in the Cordillera de Tilarán at elevations between 1,400 and 1,850 meters, Monteverde straddles the continental divide. The forest formed as glacier receded following the last ice age. The unique climate, a near-perpetual mist created by moisture-laden clouds from the Caribbean colliding with the mountains, supports an astonishing diversity of epiphytes. The reserve is home to 448 bird species, including the resplendent quetzal, and 513 orchid species. Founded by Quaker settlers, it has become a global icon for ecotourism and conservation. Located in the East Khasi Hills of Meghalaya, these bridges grow in subtropical moist broadleaf forests at elevations between 50 and 1,150 meters. The region receives some of the highest rainfall on Earth. The bridges are grown from the Ficus elastica tree, which produces aerial roots that can be guided across rivers. These living structures take 10 to 15 years to become functional but can last for centuries, supporting up to 50 people at a time. They are a testament to indigenous knowledge and humanity's deep, symbiotic relationship with ancient forests. Originally covering over 1.5 million square kilometers along Brazil's Atlantic coast, this forest extends more than 3,000 kilometers in latitude. It developed on ancient crystalline and sedimentary rocks, shaped by the breakup of Gondwana. The climate ranges from tropical to subtropical. It contains more than 23,000 plant species, 40% of which are endemic, and 7% of the world's plant species. Home to critically endangered species like the golden lion tamarin, today only 7% of its original cover remains, making it a conservation priority. Located on Palawan Island, the park spans a mosaic of habitats including lowland dipterocarp, karst, and montane forests. It contains 8 of the 13 forest types found in tropical Asia, growing on ultramafic soils, limestone, and lowland evergreen formations. The climate is tropical with distinct wet and dry seasons. The park's most famous feature is its underground river, which emerges directly into the sea. The karst landscape has been shaped by millions of years of water erosion, creating a unique habitat for endemic species. Fraser Island stretches 122 kilometers along Queensland's coast. It is composed entirely of sand, accumulated over hundreds of thousands of years. Remarkably, tall rainforests grow on these sand dunes at elevations over 200 meters. The unique ecosystem is sustained by mycorrhizal fungi that help trees absorb nutrients from the nutrient-poor sand. The island supports over 230 bird species. Its perched freshwater lakes, including Lake Mackenzie, are some of the purest in the world, existing solely on rainwater. This UNESCO World Heritage Site defies ecological convention. Located in northwestern Tasmania, the Taman covers nearly 500,000 hectares. It is the largest single tract of cool temperate rainforest in Australia, containing 170,000 hectares of myrtle-dominated forest. These forests began developing during the Miocene and reached their maximum distribution 7,000 to 9,000 years ago. The rugged landscape includes wild rivers, exposed mountains, and extensive cave systems. Ancient Huan pines along the riverbanks are estimated to be 3,000 years old. This is a rare, undisturbed Gondwanan ecosystem. These silent sentinels have endured for millennia. Their survival is our survival. Explore them, protect them, and let their ancient wisdom guide our future.